All right, let's have a look at California Dreamin' by the Mamas and the Papas. We have our capo on fret number 4. And what are our chords here? A minor. It was a little bit out of tune, pardon me. Maybe it's just the way I had the capo on. Okay, so A minor. Then we have this crazy looking named E7 sus4. The chord diagram is wrong there, so don't do that. Do this. So do an E minor chord, but add your pinky or your third finger, I guess, on string 3 fret 2. So it's an E minor plus string 3 fret 2. I do with my pinky like that because there's an E7 in here and there's an E which you play like that, so it's easier to just add your pinky there rather than trying to change all your fingers to accommodate that chord. Again, the chord diagram is wrong for G. I'm sorry, I can't even see my left hand there. There we go. Lean back a little bit. F, do the little F, right, with the little bar, not that big one to have chord drive. E7, just take an E chord and lift your third finger off string 4. Here's your E7. We've done a lot of those recently, so that'll feel somewhat familiar. C, and then a regular old E chord with all 3 fingers down and no pinky. Okay, so our strum pattern is going to be the old pear, apple, pear, apple, pear, apple, pear, apple. The intro is a little tricky here because there's a plucking thing in the beginning. Okay, so there in that intro, instead of doing the plucking thing, which is a little beyond where we are right now, just do the strum pattern, the pear apple thing, 4 times on A minor, 2, 3, 4, and 1 strum on E7 sus4, and let it ring until all the leaves are. And on the word brown, you're gonna start the strum pattern and keep on going for the rest of the song pretty much. Now, here it is again. All the leaves are brown. So they know they have a great chord progression, so they're gonna keep using it for the rest of the song. With those voices and that great chord progression, and the flute solo, and I mean, you don't really need to do much else with the chords. So, the verse actually starts on "All the leaves are brown," but they included that in the intro. So on the word brown, you start this pear apple thing and 1 strum pattern for all the chords until you get to your first E7 sus4 of the verse, and that's 2 strum patterns and 2 on E7. No, sorry. That's right, 1 on E7 and 1 on F. So 1 strum pattern each for E7, or where it says I've been for a walk. All those get 1 strum pattern each. And then on a winter's day, 1 on A minor, 1 on F, 2 on that E7 sus4, 1 on the E7, 1 on the E, and then I wrote that 1 pattern each, and then the pattern basically starts over again on "I'd Be Safe and warm if I was in LA. Yeah, this thing starts all over again. I stopped into a church, and that thing starts all over again. So your two strum patterns usually on the E7 sus4, right? And is that the only chord that gets two strum patterns? I think it is. The rest all get one. Yeah. If you look at that first verse, is it the A minor, 1, 1, 1, then 2 on the E7 sus4, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2. So that E7 sus4 is a tension builder. So it gets the two strum patterns, and then you get a bit of a resolution on whatever E chord comes next, whether it's an E7 or a straight up E. And that is, oh wait a minute, let's do the next verse, and then we'll get down to the solo, because there's just a tiny bit of difference in the flute solo thing. Notice the tempo is nice and slow too. Really laid back. Here's the solo. Okay, so before I get to the solo, actually, I noticed something. I was not correct in saying that the E7 sus4 is the only chord that gets two strum patterns. There are, when the E7 sus4 is followed by E7, that E7 also gets two strum patterns. Did I notate that? Two strum patterns on E7 sus4. No. Well, it doesn't there. Let's see if I was in LA. Oh yeah, I missed that. Okay, so go back to the first verse. If I was in LA, that E7 on the next line, California Dreamin', gets, I'm gonna write in 2, and then the A minor gets 1, of course, and the G. So there are, yeah, when it's an E7 sus4, and then just an E7 after it, not an E7 and an E, or an E7 and an F, then that E7 gets two strum patterns. So I'm going to go and make sure I mark those. See where it says in verse 2, and I pretend to pray, that's E7's going to have two. You know, the preacher, that right there. And the E7 before gets two times also. And I pretend to pray, you know, the preacher. Okay. He knows I'm going to stay. And then California Dreamin', right? There's two times on the E7 sus4, and two strum patterns on California Dreamin' after that. Okay, so that pattern is going to continue throughout the song. Okay, in the solo, this is weird. It could have 6 strum patterns on A minor, 4, 5, 6, and then 2 on F, C, then 1 on C, 1 on E7, 1 on A minor, 1 on F, 2 on E7 sus4, 2 on E7, and then 1, 1, 1, 1. A minor, G, F, G, 2 on E7 sus4, 2 on E7, 1, 1, 1, 1, on A minor, G, F, G, 2 on E7 sus4, 2 on E, all the leaves are brown, and then the whole business starts all over again. Okay, so that's sorry I messed up a couple things there, but hopefully I went back and fixed them up for you, and you kind of get what I'm talking about. If you don't, just let me know and we'll patch it up. All right, well, have fun with this awesome oldie, and thanks a lot for watching this video.